I feel like if I was exposed to the whole teenage boy thing of just like hanging around with your mates a lot quicker, I wouldn't be as independent as I am now. So I was at the dinner table the other day with Jake and we were talking about when we first started off making content online, and that got me thinking, what was it like for other people in the house when they first started making content? So that's what this video is. It's not flashy, it's just them giving their perspectives, and I think it could actually provide inspiration for anybody who wants to start a YouTube channel, want to start a new venture, just to understand what it's like and hopefully give you some energy to go out there and do it yourself. So enjoy. So the question is, when you started off in social media, did you get any like criticism from people in your school and stuff? Or like how was it when you were starting off?
Well, people don't really criticise you because they're too afraid to actually say anything to you, so they'll just shout at you in the halls. Still, even like in my last day of school, people were like, TikTok girl, renegade, renegade, renegade.
What was it like when you were starting that?
So like they would never say anything to your face, but they'd walk by you and go like, renegade, renegade, literally. Like some fella, but it was nothing. I'd laugh it off, like, do you know what I mean?
Darren, when you were starting off taking pictures, did you get any criticism?
Yes, everyone was against me. Well, not everyone.
Everyone,
like,
including even your mom.
No, my mom. Actually, my mom. The first time I was going to be an aircraft engineer first, and then when I told my mom I was going to buy a camera, and she thought it was a waste of money, and she didn't really realize what I was doing. But now she really kind of understands, and she's really supportive, and so is my family. So.
That's great.
Yeah.
And what about when you were starting off, Nia?
What was
Nia
the
used
question?
the question is, I was having a chat with Jake at lunch about how when I was 14 and started making stuff, I got slagged or whatever for making videos.
Yeah.
Did you get any criticism when you were starting off?
Yeah. Well, I've been on it since Vine, so a long time.
It's like
so,
7 years ago?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, actually it was 7 years. I'd say 5 years because of Musical.ly, but Vine was before that. A lot of criticism, like I was literally like left out of everything. I had like no friends.
Changed their tune though when you actually started getting traction? And
Definitely. Stuff? I like people. It was kind of my escape. Then when people started to find me, it was like so scary. I was like, oh no! And then people would laugh at me in the corridors and like show my videos, and I'm like walking past and like laughing at me. But now they're the same people like that come to me like, oh, for a shout out, or like, oh, how'd you do this? How'd you do that? Like I want to learn from you. I'm like, I'll help you, but like you were not there for me.
I still think Jake is in his existential crisis mode of being an influencer. He has the weird hair and everything. We really just don't know what he's like yet. Are we disturbing you during your video, you influencer?
So Tom, you're shooting a YouTube video about receiving criticism when you start a new endeavor.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Correct, yeah.
Here's my take on that. Now that we live on like a very digital, online based world, I feel like the start of people's journeys are far more visible and accessible to people, whereas maybe 10 years ago, if you wanted to become a photographer or a filmmaker or a model, you would have done a lot of that in your sort of you would have taken your first steps in private, maybe in your bedroom, your family house, or at school, and you wouldn't necessarily be subjected to the same level of criticism that you are because everything is posted everywhere now.
And also like at scale as well, like even if you posted a TikTok and 2,000 people see it, there's always going to be crazy people. Even if it was 1% of crazy people, that's 20 people leaving mean comments. So like the internet means you're going to have hate at scale as well as positivity at scale.
Will we do Andrea Lewis?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, cool. Can I ask you guys a question for a video?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yes, the question is, did you guys get any criticism when you were starting off on social? And did they change their attitude once you started getting successful?
Criticism from like people we know?
School? Yeah, or like were you in school when you started?
No, thank God I wasn't in school.
We were not
do you think
in
that
school.
was like that made you feel differently about it? Because you didn't have like people in your class going, oh Lewis, you're stupid or something.
100%.
Yeah.
I feel like it's so hard to do that in school.
And like even my sister, when she started her YouTube channel, like she started getting a little bit of like hate from like boys in the class or whatever. But yeah, we didn't get that.
Because they're jealous.
But what
Jealous
age did you
people.
start at, like doing it properly?
Properly,
As soon as she finished secondary school, we started the channel.
yeah.
Because that's when we started dating.
Well, it was like almost a year after, because we started the channel in May. Yeah, so it was
Yeah.
like a year after I finished high school.
And you
Yeah.
weren't in college or anything?
No,
So
I
you
never
didn't
went
have, like,
to college.
pressure of a peer group?
I was in college, but like
What were you doing in college?
applied translation, linguistics.
But you were only in college for like a month, and then you dropped out. Yeah.
Because you just hated it?
I didn't hate it, I just didn't want to, I was going to do this instead.
Yeah. We knew what we were gonna do, so we just didn't.
Oh, I don't think college.
Settle for a
I feel like
plan
if
B.
you're in college, it's different. In college, like everyone's very individual. But once we started growing,
When we started really growing in Ireland, that's when we started getting like a bit of hate and like people making videos, like making fun of that couple or whatever. But like that's when we were growing the most. So it was kind of like, it's funny because all of their videos would be doing bad, and the one video they made about us blew up, and we're like, you're welcome. You're welcome. You know? And so like, yeah, there was a bit of time where it was like a little bit of hate, but it didn't last a long time, and now I never see hate, you know?
Right.
So
Okay.
if someone's going to be seeing this comment, they're like, they don't get enough hate, let's go hate.
Yeah, that's great. That's a really good answer.